You are listening to Pivot Parenting, episode 198. I'm never enough for everyone. Welcome to Pivot Parenting, the place where we recognize when your parental role needs to shift and how to do it. I'm your host and parenting expert, Heather Frazier. Hey, I am so excited to talk to you today. I have such exciting news. My book, How I Fixed My Teen, I'm going to have the first paper copy in hand this week. I'm hoping to mail them out to all of my pre-order friends by the end of the month. So if you have not yet pre-ordered your copy, do so because you're going to get the free audio. Which, okay, I just got my pricing today. The audio actually is a few dollars more than the book. I don't know how that works out, but that's what my publisher told me, so that's what we're going with. So it's going to be $14.99 on Audible, but I'm going to give you the audio for free when you go to my website and buy the book for $12. Seriously, that includes shipping and everything. Like $12. I'm paying tax and shipping. It really is a no-brainer. Because you're going to get the audio for free. I'm going to send you the copy, me and my kids. I'm going to write it and I'm going to sign my name on it. It's going to be amazing. It's only $12 out the door. heatherfrazier.com. The pre-order is about to close because I'm about to have paper copies in hand. So if you've pre-ordered, I'm super excited to send it to you. And did you know too that if you pre-order 8 or more, you get a discount? So if you have a book group or if you and your friends all want a copy at a discount, if you want to maybe give it for next Christmas to your friends, or maybe you have a favorite things coming up, this is going to be one of your favorite things, just so you know. You and I are going to be best friends, and you're going to love the book and my 9 steps that I outline. These steps are foolproof. You cannot not improve your relationship with your teenager by following these 9 steps. They are a one-size-fits-all process. You will improve your relationship if you read it and do as I say in the book. It really is a no-brainer. So if you're struggling with your relationship with your teen, young adult kids, tweens, I had one person tell me that they ordered it to figure out how to be a better parent to their 4-year-old the other day, and it just made me so happy. And guess what? It will still fit. Spoiler alert, you can use it to improve any relationship. Seriously, it's that juicy. You don't want to miss it, and it's really fun. It's not long at all. I've included some drawings. The thing that I hate is like self-help when it's boring. Oh, it's like having to eat the soggy, wilted vegetables that you don't want to eat on your plate. It just is not fun, even though you know it's good for you. I have juicy stories in this book about church leaders interacting with my child, not in a good way. I tell you about my first kiss. I talk about mental health, and I wrap it all up in a way that is a page turner. So you're not going to feel like I just need to finish this book so I can get the information, but I hate it. It is not that kind of a vibe at all. I spill all the tea. It's super fun. And again, my drawings are pretty amazing. I could basically be an artist. It just is fun and helpful. It's kind of the best of both worlds. So you don't want to miss the free audio. I'm going to be reading it to you. So that's exciting. But today's episode is brought to you by the theme of the week. I haven't done this for a while, but oftentimes there's like a theme with all my clients. And this is a podcast dedicated to my clients of this magical week. Several clients right around Christmas were feeling a lot. Kids, husband, work, family, volunteer work, church callings and community callings responsibilities galore, and there wasn't enough of them to be everywhere, do everything, help everyone, and it was really hard for them. Now, I just have to tell you that my clients are literally the best, and they want to have really great families, and they want to make sure that they're loving their kids and being a good person and all of the things. And so they really wanted to meet everybody's needs, but it was killing them because they couldn't. Now, this idea, I just want to have a little caveat, like put a little asterisk here, of this idea of never enough, I'm never enough. It's cousins with the idea of I'm never good enough. Both are a flavor of having to earn our value. And what I mean by that is, well, I suck unless I can show up and spend X amount of time in service hours. And then I for sure need to make sure that all my kids look really nice and have clean clothes and like no like snarly hair going out in public. And my house needs to be cleaned. I need to make a really good dinner every night. All of those different things is earning our value. I have to appear good enough, or I have to show that I'm good enough. It's also making ourselves worthwhile. So I have to be interesting enough. I have to show my kids how fun I am, or their friends, and to be more than we are already before we're worthy of whatever we are denying ourselves of. So these moms were denying themselves peace, happiness, self-approval, rest, things that they enjoy because they weren't practical or didn't propel them forward in meeting other people's needs. And so they were really miserable. Parents in this situation typically compare themselves to others around them, generally to show themselves how much they have failed, sometimes to feel better about themselves, but usually we compare because we want to show our brain where we are lacking. Let me give you some examples of what this can sound like. For example, my sister doesn't care about appearance, so she must be more righteous than I am. My friends don't ever have a messy house. They're better than I am. Or at least I'm not like that hoarder one street over. See, I'm not that bad. I could be worse. Or my sister must be a better mom because her kids all act nice and like each other and Jesus. Or my neighbor is a hot mess and needs to work harder to get her kids shaped up, or she'll have them living in her basement into their 30s. Or at least my kids come home for the holidays, unlike my sister-in-law. She got it so wrong, and I don't blame her kids for never coming home. Right? We're seeing how other moms might not be enough so that we can feel like enough. Or this is a really good one. I've trained everyone to need me, and my kids can't do anything for themselves, and my husband too, and I'm basically screwed. I hear that quite often. Or it's my job to make sure everything is done, and there's like this really high standard that it needs to be done by. Of course, we always set the standard for ourselves, right? Or just an overall sense of I'm not capable of living this life well enough to be satisfied or happy. Essentially, they're all kind of this flavor of I have to do this entire list or jump so high to meet this standard, or I stink. And there's no in between. So what this typically creates for my clients is burnout, resentment. They become grumpy and defensive. or they retreat and give up and hide. They go in their room and just read or scroll so that they don't have to face their kids. They can become passive aggressive, unhappy, really short fuse, and it's really hard to relax because there's a whole list of things that they should be doing, and whining kids or spouses looming large. Not enough, not good enough. This is comparing. And guess what? It's not even the facts. I'm guessing that if I were to follow you around or somebody else were to follow you around, they would see that you do a lot during the day. You're running kids around in the car. You're making sure that they're home at night before you go to bed. You are making sure that they have clothes, or you're helping them with homework, or you're serving and you're getting things done at work, and you're doing things within your community to help. I'm guessing that you do a lot that you don't even give yourself credit for. And let's say you're not doing any of that. Let's say, since our brains like to get really wild, let's say you're a vegetable in a coma in the hospital, not doing anything. In fact, you're incurring expense because it's expensive to be in the hospital. And you're just sitting there and everybody's doing everything for you, literally everything, showering you, dressing you, because you're a vegetable. You would still be valuable, of infinite value, actually. Just like we hold a newborn baby that basically is a vegetable that can't do anything for themselves and they can't communicate and they sleep all the time. They are of infinite value. And they don't do anything. In fact, they require a lot. So us not thinking that we're not doing enough or that we're not good enough, that is simply how we are choosing to view any particular fact of any certain day. I slept 6 hours. I didn't do the dishes, but I drove kids around for 3 hours, picked up Chick-fil-A for dinner, or made a nice meal. Literally, whatever it is, those are just facts, and you can choose to see them as you're crushing it or you're falling short. Now, just so you know, our to-do list that we have, all the things either written down or in our brain, I just want you to know that unless you've practiced this really good and you're really mindful of what you put on your list, you will never get that list done, like ever. In fact, during the night, sometimes they breed. And it's like you wake up and there's 10 more things on your list. And it's like, holy cow, where did these come from? And that is okay. There's actually nothing wrong with having a list of things that you would like to do. And we don't even have to beat ourselves up over it. Isn't that wild? Because when we're thinking, there's not enough of me to go around, I'm not good enough, these are all symptoms of scarcity, which is the opposite of abundance. Scarcity is like, have you ever seen teenage boys when somebody brings in a couple boxes of pizza and you have to just grab a slice and run in order to get food? Have you ever seen teenagers do this? It's a thing. And it's because there's only so much pizza to go around and they know that. So they just, it's like a grab, a wild feeding frenzy. And they're grabbing all the food until it's gone. But that's not how we need to work with our energy and our love. Now, it's true, there's only 24 hours in a day, and we can't go for 24 hours, 48 hours. Like our body will shut down and we need rest. But we don't have to see our time and energy as that pizza that everybody's grabbing at. And we only have so much. We can actually see our time and our energy as ours, and we get to spend it in ways that serve and meet our needs. Let me explain this to you. But first, I want to pause and say, if this is you, if some of this is landing and you're like, oh yeah, I do that, last thing you need to do is beat yourself up, because this is totally normal. Our brains have this hardwiring that they came with so that we can survive. And it's actually served us as a human population over the millennia of time. But sometimes it causes harm, and we just need to be aware of it so that we can see clearly what it's doing for us and decide if it's helpful or not, and then what to replace it with. And so this is my pivot for you. If this sounds familiar to you, if this kind of lands and you're like, yeah, sometimes I do that, or that's totally me, I want you to identify your top 3 values. Now, I want you to write all of them down so you can come up with a dozen or 5 or 10, whatever. And then I want you to categorize them and prioritize them so that you have your top 3 values. Now, I want you to also know that every single one of us is unique and different. And so our values are going to be slightly unique and different from everybody around us, and maybe even from what they were a year or 2 ago. Just like in a year or 2 from now, your values and what you want to prioritize may be different than in this very moment. And that's totally fine and completely normal. So I'm just going to give you some examples to kind of get the juices flowing for you. But it could be like our home environment, whether that's cleanliness or aesthetics. It could be education and wisdom. It could be relationships. I'm guessing that that is one of your values because you're listening to a relationship podcast right now. Quality food for yourself and your family, physical and mental health, service, nurturing kids, perhaps your marriage or partnership, spirituality, contributing to society, organization, friendships. There's 1,000 different things that could be really important to you. One thing that I've been trying to prioritize is having fun. Isn't that weird? Sometimes I feel really awkward having fun because I haven't allowed myself to have fun. Isn't that silly? Unless I'm with my sisters or like really close friends, then I can have fun. But I'm trying to prioritize having fun with my kids or just myself or just random people, because who doesn't want more fun in their life? So whatever your values are, I want you to identify those and then categorize them, put them in order of what's the most important thing all the way down to the least important thing. And then I want you to focus on your main, like top 3. Now, I want you to watch yourself. I want you to get in some weekdays and some weekends in there. But I don't want you to change anything. I want you to carry on as you would normally carry on. Now, this is really hard to do. It's kind of like you saw the cheat sheet and you know what the answer is. But I want you to watch yourself and catalog your time. Like I spent 3 hours driving kids around. I spent 5 hours watching them play sports. I only got 6 hours of sleep every night. Whatever it is, I want you to kind of write down how you're spending your time. And then I want you to see if your time and resources are in line with your top priorities. Okay, spoiler alert. Usually they're an exact opposite of each other. That may seem really weird and counterintuitive, but actually our brains do this weird subconscious thing where if we can't get it perfect, then we don't even try. So like if relationships are top on our priority list or our value list, then sometimes we don't even approach them because it's so important to us that if we mess it up, then we'll be devastated. And so we would rather not try. So for my clients, they ended up enabling family because they didn't want to try and claim their time back. They didn't want to teach their kids how to be more self-reliant because they feared that they might fail at it. Does that make sense? And maybe this also lands for you. If we can't get it perfect, we don't even try. Because if it's not perfect, then we can't be happy, or that's what we tell ourselves. Or other people not like me altering things and they would be unhappy with me. And so I am going to not do anything different so that I don't rock the boat. Like if you really wish that your husband would help out more, but you never even ask him to because he looks tired and you don't want to rock the boat or cause contention or anything else. So then you're doing all 50 things after school and before bed while he's just chilling, doing his thing. And then you're silently resenting him and feeling burnt out. That's not helpful to your relationship, to your mental health, or to your kids who are seeing these roles play out in such a way that aren't helpful. Does that make sense? So the next step after this is that we need to adjust, preferably, my friend, with a coach, because there's probably people-pleasing and unhelpful self-concept going on that they're able to help you with so much more quickly. Okay, and another spoiler, I talk a lot about these concepts in my book, How I Fixed My Teen, and that is also a great resource if you like to DIY things. So if you're not to the point where you want to coach yet, but you want a little more information on this, How I Fixed My Teen really does outline how to do this really well. Now, once you've identified your values, the next step is to make friends with the uncomfortable emotions that come with the adjustment. I'm sorry, but this is unavoidable. This is where, again, an unbiased set of eyes with expert skills like a coach or a therapist is really nice, because you need to learn how to allow others to be unhappy. You need to learn how to say no, how to allow imperfection, like letting your friends see your messy house because your house cleanliness was less important than you spending quality time as a family. And so instead, you all went for a bike ride or played a game. We have to allow imperfection. And then, this is the most beautiful part, we help our family learn the same skills through modeling it and offering those tools to them. So when our teenagers come home and they're really upset because they're trying out for the play and they want to play volleyball and they're doing all these things, and they're all fun things, but they can't do it all, or they're in a friendship struggle or a dating struggle, like boyfriend wants this thing and friends want this other thing. Life is fraught with disappointing people. And so to allow our kids to see our okayness with that so that they can be okay with it. Can you imagine if you would have learned that skill as a teenager? Seriously. Disappointing roommates, companions of any kind, working on projects in school or work, in their own future marriage. Like, that is a huge gift to give our kids, but we have to begin. We have to set the example of how it is okay to say no, and how it's okay to talk through things with people and teach independence and make peace with disappointment and loving ourselves and allowing ourselves rest and fun. Even though our to-do list is over in the corner breeding, because that's what they do, we can still enjoy our life. We do not have to get the list done and keep everybody happy before we can be happy. That day never comes, I promise. Unless you're really good at just having a bare bones list and you only have a few people in your life so you can keep them all happy. For most of us, though, that day never comes. And that's a really sad way to spend your life just spread too thin, running from fire to fire, and just depleting yourself, all while feeling miserable. My friend, if you would like help, I am here for you. It is a new year. I've got some client spots open. One of them is for you. If you would like to set up an appointment and to pre-order my book, just go to heatherfraser.com. It's all right there. You can apply to work with me and pre-order my book. The pre-order days are getting very slim. I really want to send you the audio. So for sure, get that done before the end of January, and we will talk soon.